Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we have a lot of things to discuss. But yeah, we're going to be mainly talking about Ripple and XRP in this video. I hope everybody is having a beautiful day or a beautiful night. It is officially Friday. We can celebrate the weekend being here. Now, with the weekend being here, I am concerned around this market. I do think that we will see quite a bit of volatility. Today, Twitter was erupting with some bullish tweets. Everyone was getting very excited because we did see quite a bit of green in the market, and we still do on the 7-day span. As you guys do see, there's quite a bit of green still. Now, I tell you guys that you do not need to FOMO in on these prices. There's no reason to FOMO in on these prices. I say it all the time. When I look at this market and I look at these prices, these are prices that are going to be around. We will see lower prices, most likely yet again. We still very well are in a bear market. I know that a lot of people are very excited about this move, but remember, bear market rallies do happen. And no, this is not me being negative or anything like that. This is me being realistic, and I want you guys to understand that I try to keep you guys level-headed during these times because I don't want you blowing your money on 40+% moves on altcoins that you think that are going to go to the moon tomorrow. You could definitely get a lot more value for your dollar if you just kind of let your emotions go, and you just kind of stay calm, collective, and you make sure that you are doing the opposite of everybody else within the space. I always say do not follow the herd because the herd will get you completely wrecked in this space. We've seen it time and time again. Now, why am I bearish amid the weekend? Well, first off, we go over here to the exchange listings and we go down here to Bitfinex. Bitfinex has been the long-term reputation exchange, linked to Tether. We've talked about Bitfinex in the past. We've talked about Tether in the past. This isn't a very substantial exchange compared to most. But it's holding, roughly $358.1 million of 24-hour volume, 831,000 weekly visits as well. This is a substantial exchange. I mean, even if you look at this, when you look at the volume, this is equivalent to almost 15,000 Bitcoin. Yesterday, we just talked about Hotbit basically having a few issues with freezing their customers' assets. And today we had this breaking news report from Gold Telegraph. Crypto exchange Bitfinex is facing a possible criminal investigation in the United States. Bitfinex has faced several investigations from criminal and civil entities in the U.S. amid questions about whether its sister company stablecoin issuer Tether was being truthful about the state of its reserves. We've talked about this in the past. I mean, honestly, what is going to come from this? Is this just FUD? I mean, most likely it is just FUD. We've been hearing about Bitfinex and Tether for a very long time. I've discussed my viewpoints on it. Do I think that Tether is one big massive Ponzi scheme? Possibly. It might be a big massive scam. We've talked about the reserves basically being backed by nothing. I think that it is one of the mysteries in this space that will eventually implode, similar to like Luna and stuff, which we've talked about Tether at that time when Luna was imploding in this market. But I also think that we are going to see a big play into the FUD around this. But also, I want you guys to also know that guess what? While all the retail market was extremely fearful, not buying the dip when we came down to like 17K, guess who was? Institutions. I say it time and time again. These institutions are buying everyone's fear. They do not care about your, emotions. They don't care about your entry points, your exit points. These institutions are hoarding massive amounts of crypto. I would argue that it wasn't just Bitcoin that they were buying. Of course, this is coming from Bitcoin Magazine, but when we really kind of look at institutions around the space, even the BlackRock situation, they came to the space at such a weird time. They usually don't buy the top, if you will. So for them entering at such a weird moment in time, it definitely begs the question on have we officially seen our Bitcoin bottom? In my opinion, we will most likely see this dead cat bounce. And then we will see, possibly lower than what we did see back in June. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. Nobody really does, and I will be the first one to really kind of fully admit that. I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, we are going to X amount of dollars by this time frame. No. I don't like to predict time frames. I don't like to predict, bottoms or anything like that. To me personally, we could very well have seen our Bitcoin bottom, especially with massive amounts of institutions entering into the space. But also remember, the BlackRock situation could also be one big massive bull trap. It could, spark this major run up, which it has. I mean, we nearly hit about 25K, I think, on Bitcoin. All coins were going crazy, earlier today, and currently we're trading at about under 24K. We're hitting some major resistance, which has been the resistance point for a very long time, going back on the 1 month span or even a 3 month span. You do see it's like right around the same range, and I know that we will have wicks above it. The candlestick bodies are what matters. We haven't really built, support on 24K yet. We've just been rejecting off of it, and I know that we ran up to almost 25K, but just be cautious with that. But we do see our BlackRock CEO says, the hits on BlackRock's website were 3,000 hits on COVID, 3,000 hits on monetary policy, and 600,000 hits on Bitcoin. This tells us Bitcoin has caught the attention and, imagination of people. And listen closely to this.
And now related to Bitcoin, one of my important investors was on one of the television shows the last few days, and he spoke about.
And also, yes, the volume on this video is very low for me as well. I don't know what's going on with it, but it is what it is.
Bitcoin and two of, one, monetary policy, two, and three, COVID. The hits on BlackRock's on our website was 3,000 on COVID, 3,000 hits on a monetary policy, and 600,000 hits on Bitcoin. So what that tells you is Bitcoin has caught the attention and the imagination of many people. Many people are fascinated about it. Many people are excited about it, but it's still untested. It's still a pretty small market relative to other markets. It can be, we see these big giant movements every day. It's a thin market. And so can it evolve into a global market? Possibly. Certainly by evidence of the imagination of so many who want to learn about it or interested in about it, to me is a very telling sign. Another good example why understanding big data, like how many hits and all that, really is a defining statement. And so we look at it as something is real, but it's still untested. It still has many. We have to go through many markets to see if it's going to be permanently real, or it's going to be a variant of that sometime in the future.
And also, I just want to say, as he is comparing, Bitcoin to other markets and how, slim this market actually is in regards to like money, within it. It also begs the question on if we do see mass adoption of crypto, will the prices continue to skyrocket the way that they have? I would argue that the prices in this market will actually, slow down, and we will see diminished gains on quite a bit of assets, including, of course, Bitcoin. But it's hard to say exactly where things will go with that. To me personally, I do expect a lot of major price action movements on altcoins. I don't think that like diminished returns for Bitcoin 100% will be there. There's this, we've already seen it historically. So but I do think that, BlackRock getting in on the space definitely gives us an insight on where we are headed. And also talking more so about the SEC lawsuit. So we've been seeing bombshell after bombshell from the XRP community. Shout out to Jungle Inc. XRP. We do see Ripple has continued to engage in sales solely related to on-demand liquidity. In Library, the SEC said even if one sale could be an investment, then all of it is a security violation. Ripple has transferred to 100% utility all sales running through on-demand liquidity for consumptive use. Checkmate. And yes, I do believe that Ripple has the SEC in a checkmate stance, and I know that people will say, SEC also said that utility doesn't matter. It could expect, not true if the buyer could expect a profit from its security violation. If the buyer is provable, using the token, then it's a commodity. The utility part doesn't exempt the investment part, is what the SEC is claiming. We got rid of the investment sales. And yes, we did. And I do think that this is substantial. I think that Ripple has positioned themselves for a major win in this market around this entire lawsuit. And the funny thing is a lot of people have been saying is there going to be an actual settlement? Could there be a settlement? Will Ripple just go for the neck and easily win? It's a very well possibility. We do see over here as well, to my understanding, Ripple only sells XRP for utility and support of on-demand liquidity today. I don't think another altcoin project today can even say they only sell tokens for utility purposes. Having on-demand liquidity built out may be an instrumental to continuing to operate going forward. Depending on how an SEC settlement is crafted, and then eventually regulations, this may put Ripple in a much better position. If there is not a direct utility purpose for a promoter slash developer to sell a coin, it may be dicey. Not a single forward-looking sell would be an investment. All sells, from the main developer would be for use in the network. If the ETH, foundation or the main devs were to sell more Ethereum token, would it be for the guaranteed use in the system? Remember what the SEC claims in library: if even one sell of a token is for investment, then everything is a security violation. Ripple can prove all sales are use, and 100%. The funny thing here is that when we look at Ethereum, I would argue that Ethereum was more so, it is more so classified as a security going with these measurements. And also over here, we do see CNBC says it's a new day by Ethereum. And if you guys do listen closely, you guys can listen closely to this.
But I would say that, look, Coinbase, look, it's a new day.
It is a new day.
It's a new
and
day.
By the way, it is a day in which
up.
we got a non-hot CPI number, and the S&P is up 1.5%.
Well,
that's helpful.
That's when you buy Ethereum, right?
Oh, I think that's what it says in the Ethereum playbook. Yes, buy Ethereum. Buy anything. How about Dogecoin? Do you buy that?
No, but please, it's down 99% or something from when he was on Saturday Night Live. But I'll tell you.
You gotta love these people, spewing their nonsense. Go buy Ethereum at its, major resistance zones. Again, to me, it just doesn't make any sense. But we do see this video posted by, somebody who is a Bitcoin maxi, obviously. But I think that this plays perfectly into the XRP lawsuit. So listen closely to this.
You just described some crypto as securities. Which ones do you think of as securities?
It's pretty clear, and the Supreme Court has actually spoken about this many times. If somebody is raising money, selling a token,
start the Ether pre-sale in a couple of weeks. So the Ether pre-sale will be an opportunity for anyone to purchase Ether, where Ether is the internal currency inside of the Ethereum system, sort of like the XRP and Ripple.
And the buyer is anticipating profits.
What we're hoping is that sort of similar to what happened with Mastercoin. If that slice is something like 20%, and then the value of Ether goes up by 5, then we basically have the entire initial BTC that we got all over again.
Based on the efforts of that group.
There's about 100 people that are working on Ethereum right now.
Myself leading the protocol design.
And we also have branding teams, we have marketing teams.
That fits into something that's a security.
Partially in order to better flesh out.
And again, this plays exactly in to the security stance around, Ethereum. I've said it time and time again, right? I see so many people flipping so bullish on Ethereum, and that's great for the short term. And I do think that, Ethereum will do great in the short term. I'm not going to even talk more so down on that. But what I do believe is going to happen going forward, though, is we will see the day where Ethereum is also classified as a security. And I do think that this is also why we should be rooting for, Ripple to completely win this lawsuit, or even get, regulatory, certainty or clarity, if you will, around XRP as a token itself. I think that would be a monumental moment in, history. But also, right now, what we are also watching for, as Ripple has the SEC in Checkmate stance, shout out to Anders for this, but we do see speculation. I'd make a bet those emails include an analysis that XRP is not a security. Imagine how bad that would look. And yes, these emails will most likely provide not only the insight that XRP isn't a security, but it will also fully break down all of the reasoning why it wouldn't be a security. If we could see that, if we could have that fully released, that would be so substantial to not only put a nail in the coffin, but it would also be a huge pivotal turn around the entire SEC lawsuit itself, to not only provide an insight on why XRP is a security, or isn't a security, I should say, but it would also provide an insight on how most of these other assets as well, even the library token in the library case, isn't a security. This is why this is a huge area to focus on, specifically with those emails that I have been saying for the longest time. And also, last but not least, I just want to share with you guys this from the CFTC. So yesterday we did make a video about the CFTC really kind of ushering in possibly a settlement. And we do see today CFTC chairman claims the agency is ready for the possibility of regulating crypto. I've told you guys time and time again, it's not about the SEC. The SEC does not matter here. There is going to be these major agencies that are above them that will usher in, regulations around crypto and most likely fully push for, a regulatory clarity, around this space as well. And the CFTC is the perfect one for this. Of course, they are the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, so they would be the perfect candidate for this, and they would have more regulatory overreach than the SEC. And this is what we should all be hoping for. I know that we don't like to accept, regulatory stance from these major agencies. We actually technically want Ripple to win this lawsuit so that they could work on their framework with government entities, which would be the best opportunity. But, having the CFTC really kind of look within this space and say, like, all right, well, we are going to regulate this space, and we are going to accept guidance from major players within this sector, more so like Ripple, that could also be very beneficial. So that's what we would be, hoping for. But with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Wherever you guys are on this before, this has been Nick. Peace out, guys.